Another episode of the 152 show. We got an exciting one right now. We're going to go over the top 15 wrestlers from New York since the year 2000. It's your boy Lou152 with my co-host Funky Banks. How you feeling, bro?
Feeling good. I'm real excited to share the list. A lot of thought went into the list, and some pretty good wrestlers on here, and
Yeah,
some
pretty good.
controversy as well in terms of the rankings.
All right, bro. So let's get it started. Let's start off. Why don't you introduce the number 15 wrestler since the year 2000 from New York?
At number 15, we got Steve-O pulling from Section 2, Shenendehowa. Steve-O
All right.
Pullen's a U17 World Team member, a Super 32 champion, a
Uh-huh.
Who's Number One contestant.
Uh,
He's a four-time New York State champion. He won three D1 titles, as well as a journeyman format title.
okay.
Three-time Eastern States champ, and he only finished his career with one loss.
I'd say that's pretty good. I'd say that's pretty good. Yeah, for me, Steve-O was, I don't know if you remember, I mean, I'm sure you remember the videos of him when he was a little kid, right? He had the mohawk going on and all
Oh
that.
yeah,
So
how can
I
I
believe that
forget?
I believe that was when I was in high school already. And his stuff used to pop up all the time, you know, on Facebook and whatever, YouTube, on the internet back then. And, when I heard he was from New York, I was like, oh shit. I'm like, yo, this is dope. He's from New York. And then, it was cool for me to see him, progress. Um, I was there at the state tournament for at least one of his state titles. So I watched him there at the state tournament, and I got to watch him twice at the NCAAs. So for me, super dope. Shenenda Hoa, that's a story program in New York. I wrestled a
Yeah.
bunch of Shenenda Hoa guys. I got a lot of love for Papalizio and Shenenda Hoa. So yeah, Steve and he had a one of his state finals was against potentially another wrestler on this list. Heh. Well, who knows? We'll
Oh
find
yeah.
out. Who knows? We'll find
I'm
out.
sure. I'm sure some people are gonna look at his ranking and say, U17 World Team member, Super 32 champ, four-time state champ. How is he this low? This is a high school only list. A lot of Steve-O's wins were at those lower weight classes. His Super 32 title was at 106. His World Team was
Uh,
at the lightest weight class.
hmm
When he was at Who's Number One, he was the 106 guy, and they had him wrestle Figueroa at 113.
Okay.
That keeps him from being a little bit higher up. Some of these guys did almost the same stuff, just at higher weight classes. But man, Steve-O's the guy, he's that guy. He only had one loss, and if this was a college list as well, he would have been probably higher up, considering he's a Division I All-American.
Yeah. Who was that lost to?
Sheldon Seymour from he wrestles for Lehigh now, but he was in Troy High School. They wrestled at the Wyoming Seminary tournament, and he lost to him
Mm,
there his freshman year.
his freshman year. Okay. Dope. All
So
right,
no
Steve.
losses to New York wrestlers.
No losses to New York wrestlers. Okay. I believe they wrestled at the NCAAs too, right? They were supposed to wrestle at the NCAAs, I think, this past year.
They were in the same weight
Seymour.
class twice. They're both 125 pounders. They were
Yeah,
both career
yeah.
125. Yeah.
Okay. All right, dope. So number 15, Steve-O Paulin, super stud. All right, introduced to us the number 14 wrestler since the year 2000, New York.
Number 14 from Section 11, Senum Riches, Jordan Titus. Jordan Titus is
Ah,
the first Walsh Ironman champion in New York wrestling history. He was a
fire.
who's number one. He was a who's number one contestant. He went into who's number one as the number one wrestler in the country. He's a three-time state champ, two-time Division II, and he won a journeyman title as well. He took second twice as well, making him a five-time New York State finalist.
Wow.
He was an Eastern States champ, finalist, and third place finisher as well. Did not wrestle the fourth time because of COVID. Same with Steve-O.
Okay. Wow. So I mean, so we got okay, he was ranked number one. First Ironman, that's big right there. That's huge. First Ironman champion from New York. I love that. And it's something that me and you talk about all the time. We want to see more New York guys going to the Ironman. So we can call Titus a kind of a pioneer here. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he's the first one from New York to win the Ironman. So that just sets up other New York wrestlers to do the same thing. Super 32 All American, Fargo All American. I mean, he's been at every single tournament you could possibly be at, it looks like, and either won or placed. So I like this. Long Island, Section 11, Titus. He's another one. I got to watch him at the NCAAs this past year. Um, Titus was also he's known for that. I believe was it in the Super 32 where he hit the Super Duck?
He had the Super Duck where he hit that in the Ironman finals as well. So in the
Iron
Ironman
Man.
finals, he got a last second takedown, won the match, took his headgear off, was celebrating. The coaches from the other team debated it. They went to overtime, and then in overtime he super ducked the guy and won there. And he
That's
was
the
just
one
hitting
I'm
that
talking
super
about.
duck everywhere. That's a good segue into a big point that I need to make. Anthony Noto beat Jordan Titus in the state finals twice. People might be saying, why is Anthony Noto not on the list and Jordan Titus is? In the beginning of the career, when Jordan was in the eighth grade, was a freshman, Anthony Noto beat him in the state finals those two times. As their career went on, though, Jordan ended up with the better career. Anthony Noto was not an Ironman champion. Anthony Noto
Mm-hmm.
was not the number one wrestler in the country. He was not a who's
Mm-hmm.
number one contestant. In the
Mm-hmm.
Eastern State Finals, Anthony Noto senior year, Jordan Titus junior year, Jordan Titus super ducked him, I think, twice or maybe three times in that match. So
Okay.
Anthony Noto had the better start and Jordan had the better finish. Anthony Noto still a great wrestler, honorable mention on this list for sure.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not how you started, it's how you finish. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, that probably built him. That built Titus, wrestling somebody like Noto, someone of that caliber so young, you know what I'm saying? Eighth grade, ninth grade,
Mhm.
wrestling somebody like that, taking some losses. He says, okay, cool. Let me lock in. You know what I'm saying? He locked in and, ended up becoming a number one ranked wrestler in America, by the time of his senior year. So Jordan Titus,
Yeah.
number 14. Um, let's get into number 13. Who is the number 13 best New York wrestler since the year 2000?
And number 13 from Section 4, Oxford, J.P. O'Connor. J.P. O'Connor was the third ever four-time New York State champion and took third in the original format as an eighth grader. He's the only wrestler ever to win original format, Division One, and Division Two New York State titles.
Woo! That's fire. That's fire. That's fire.
He was an eight-time Fargo All-American.
Oof.
He was the Amateur Wrestling News First Team All-America Dream Team, and he's the only person to beat honorable mention Lou152 at the state tournament. JP O'Connor, class of 2006, didn't have some of the same opportunities as some of the other guys on the list. Super 32 wasn't around at the time. There
Uh-huh.
was no who's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Being in New York, he can't wrestle at Ironman. But given his schedule and given his opportunities, he did just about everything he could have possibly done.
I agree. I mean, I just gotta say, I love that stat right there. That is such a fire. You said he's is the only wrestler in New York ever to win a one division tournament, right? Everybody together. Then a Division One tournament and a Division Two tournament. That is a fire stat right there. Love that. Um,
Yeah, man, he beat the pretty bad dudes to do it too.
yeah, I'm like you said. I mean, Lou Ruggiero, who's another legend, was you said he beat him in the state tournament. So, I mean, super fire. I know you said that this is a high school only list, but I do think it's worth to mention that he did end up becoming a Division One NCAA champion. So
Yes, he also placed in the toughest weight class of all time, where Brent Metcalf and Jordan Burroughs and Bubba Jenkins was in that weight
Darian
class.
Caldwell,
Torella, yeah, you name
yeah.
them, they were in there. Lance Palmer took eighth, and he was
Was
Lance
Gregor
Palmer.
Gillespie in there too? No, no,
I
no.
don't think so, but Schlater was.
Schlater, and
Yeah.
then JP O'Connor. That's an insane bracket.
Don't
That's
take
an
my
ins
word for it. Don't take our word for it. Flow Wrestling made a documentary called The Greatest Weight Class of All Time about it. He was on that podium.
What did he take there? You
I'm
remember?
not sure off the top of my head. I'm not sure off the
Okay.
top of my head.
We'll I'll look into it. But yeah, I mean, still, I mean, super legendary. Super legendary. I love that stat. Um, winning in all three formats, 8-time Fargo All-American. I mean, back then, I mean, Fargo still to this day is like that is the tournament, I would say. So it's Super 32 and Fargo, but especially back then, Fargo was really that tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like there was nothing else around. You know what I'm saying? Like it was Fargo. So, um, 8-time
Yeah,
Fargo
no, that's crazy.
All-American. JP O'Connor, and
Hmm.
he's a this Section 4 guy, correct?
Yeah. No, and then also I just want to highlight third in the state in the original format as an eighth grader. That's another big deal, man.
That's a
You know,
huge
that's a
deal.
crazy yeah. Oh
Section
yeah.
4, Oxford Academy, correct? I think that was his school.
Yes,
Um,
sir. Yes, sir.
yeah, Oxford Academy. Section 4, JP O'Connor, super stud, super stud. All right, let's get into who is the number 12 best wrestler since 2000 from the state of New York. Who do we got?
And number 12 from Ward Melville, Section 11, we got Nick Piccinini. He
Pitch.
was a who's number one contestant. He was a Flow Nationals champ and finalist,
Mm-hmm.
four-time New York State champ, and he took third in the eighth grade,
Mm-hmm.
two-time Eastern States champ in 2 attempts, and a five-time Suffolk County champ. Back when
Legend.
Suffolk County was the dog pound. Yeah.
Legend. Now, I got a lot to say about this because Piccinini, this is my era right here. This is somebody that I know personally. I've been on many travel teams with Piccinini. I know Piccinini very well. I got to watch him, up close and personal. I've won a lot of tournaments with him. Piccinini is my guy. He still is a super stud. I mean, Piccinini was just an absolute monster on top. He would tilt you to death both ways too. He'll go righty, then he'll grab the left wrist. He'll tilt you both ways. He'll do roll through tilt. He'll do cheap tilt. If he can't get the roll through, he'll take you back this way, do a cheap tilt. On neutral, he was, very slick
That's a
wrestler.
crazy
Uh,
pace.
yeah, really quick, good with misdirections. One way, low single this way. He had a nasty knee pull. Yeah, I've watched a lot of Piccinini. Um, I watched him win. So I won Flow Nationals the same year that Piccinini did. I got to watch him up close and personal when he beat Luke Pletcher. And
Big win
wow,
by the time at the
big
time.
win.
Yeah.
That Pletcher was the number one ranked wrestler in the country, and Piccinini dogged him. I mean, it was a major decision. Piccinini was just a man on a mission. And another one of my favorite matches was it was his 2013. So that was his 2013 state title when he got his revenge against I'm dumbing out on the name. Section 4 guy,
Kyle Kelly from Shenango Forks. Kyle
Kyle
Kelly.
Kelly from Chenango Fork. So that was Piccinini's loss as an eighth grader in the semifinals. And
Hmm.
2013, like I said, I was there. I watched it in person. Piccinini was like a man on a mission. He was like, you know what I mean? Like he wanted to make a
Yeah.
statement and he
Yeah.
dogged. And at the time, Kyle Kelly was like considered like unbeatable at the time. Like I believe he was a 2-time state champion going into that match. And Piccinini was only a 1-time state champion. So that was like a very talked about match. You know what I mean? We got Piccinini 1-time state champ, Kyle Kelly 2-time state champion. Now they're wrestling in the finals. And this was Piccinini's last loss as an eighth grader in the semifinals. And he just he just dogged him, man. Like just a monster, Piccinini. I got to see Piccinini wrestle at Pop and Flow National Duels. We were on the same team a bunch of times with Team Excel. We also went to Waterway Duels with 631 Elite. And he was one of those guys that, he's a New York guy, right? But the Pennsylvania kids had nothing on him. He was take all the best Pennsylvania guys. They're wrestling Piccinini, Piccinini, hacking them all up.
Yeah, Piccinini was very good under the lights in big moments.
Yep,
It didn't matter who he was wrestling, it was going to be a competitive match. For his era, he was the guy.
absolutely.
The fact that he's number 12 on this list is a real testament to some of the guys to come.
Mm-hmm.
Piccinini was that guy for
He's that
sure.
guy. And I do want to mention one more thing. Like we said before, this is just a high school list, but we do have to mention Piccinini's huge win. Oklahoma State versus Iowa. Piccinini pins Spencer Lee. Man, that's got to be one of the most exciting matches of all time. In college, the energy was crazy. If you haven't seen that match, you have to go watch that match. It's everywhere, YouTube, whatever. Nick Piccinini versus Spencer Lee. Piccinini pins him. Absolutely legendary. Um,
Yeah, I think
yeah,
everybody on Long Island was, glued to a screen at that point watching that while it
yeah,
happened. And then that's all everybody was talking about for about a week after
yeah,
in the middle
facts.
of the season. Yeah.
Absolutely insane. All right. That was number 12. Now we are going to get into our last wrestler for this episode. So we're going to break it up, guys, 15 to 11, 10 to 6, 5 to 1. So this is going to be the last wrestler we talk about for this episode. Why don't you introduce the number 11 best wrestler since the year 2000 from New York?
Number 11 and the only currently active wrestler on this list from Section 11, Belport, Cameron Howard.
Cameron Howard.
Cameron Howard just recently made the U17 World Team. He's a Who's Number One winner. He beat the Iron Man champion at Who's Number One.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Fargo champion. He's a two-time Division One New York State champion going into his junior year. He's the second ever seventh grade Suffolk County champion. He's on track to become the second six-time Suffolk County champion. And he's on track to becoming only the fifth ever six-time New York State placer.
I mean, so young yet so good. I mean, Cameron Howard is the star of New York wrestling right now. He is the guy. Um, he's been absolutely killing it right now. He is, doing things on the national scene as my guy Funky Banks just stated, everything that he's done, world team member, who's number one winner, Fargo champion. Cameron Howard is the example and the gold standard of New York wrestling right now. He is doing what we want more New York guys to be doing. And, just to put things into perspective, he's about to be a junior next year and he's already number 11. So things could change a lot by the time that he's done with his career. He could shoot up
He could
very high.
realistically be in the top five. Yeah.
Yeah, these things could change a lot. So Cameron Howard is, he's killing it. I watched him at the state tournament this past year. I mean, just absolute, technical showcase. Absolutely nasty on his feet. I mean, chain wrestling. The kid is athletic. Um, he's fast. He's strong. That he's wrestling like a college wrestler already. I mean, he's one attack to the next attack, hand fighting like a college wrestler, just putting 5, 6 moves together to get one takedown. That's the type of stuff that that you got to be doing. To be a top level wrestler, and Cameron Howard's doing it.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. I put down on track and stuff like that. That's not me counting those as accolades. That's just his trajectory. And if there's somebody in New York better than Cameron Howard right now, I'd love to meet him because Cameron Howard is just going out there and bodying every single kid that steps on that mat with him. He's really separated himself and he's on his way. He has some really good coaches and some really good partners. Shout out KD. He's got
Yep.
KD coaching him. He's got PJ Duke as a partner. He's got Jaden
Yep.
James as a partner.
Yep.
Um, Sky's the limit for Cameron Howard. He's got that NCAA champ kind of trajectory right now.
Yep. I absolutely agree. He's just, I know you, like you said, you put on track, in my opinion, it's basically The only way this doesn't happen is, God forbid, injury or, some type of crazy circumstance. You know what I mean? I don't want to put no bad juju in the air, but, like he's just that good. I don't see anybody. There's nobody that I can say, oh, you know what? If Cameron's in this guy's weight class, maybe he could give him a challenge. I just don't see it. There's nobody that just, I don't think there's anybody that can match him. He's on that level that, you know, he's on that. I want to see him go to the tournaments like Iron Man and all that. That's the only place he's going to get tested, because New York is just, there's
And he
just
beat the
nobody
Iron Man
for him.
champ.
Oh,
He
yeah.
beat the Iron Man champ as well.
Yeah. He beat the
Yeah,
Iron Man
he
champ.
was number
So,
one.
yeah. So now let's hopefully we could get him there. You know what I'm saying? And so he could actually, win the tournament. Um, he's just that good.
Absolutely.
I don't see there's anybody in New York for him. And yeah, his trajectory is super high. Shout out to his father. Also, his dad is a super cool guy. I got to chop it up with him at the state tournament. We were just chilling, talking wrestling. Super cool guy, and you could tell he's really invested into his son. And that's another determining factor of how good somebody's going to be is how involved the family is. Your father, whoever's supporting you. If you have people that are all in with you, sky's the limit. So yeah, number 11, Cameron Howard. That concludes the part one of, the top 15 wrestlers from New York since the year 2000.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
some pretty tough wrestlers to come as well. So
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
excited to go to the rest of the list. Yeah, all these guys are really freaking good, man.
Really good. Stay tuned, my people. 15 to 11. Next episode is going to be 10 to 6. So stay tuned to see the rest of the list, man. Funky Banks, you're killing it. Amazing job with all the research and everything you've done to put this list together. I love it, bro.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that.
All right, guys. Until next time.
Wrestling